Episode 7 gave you 3 witnesses. I want to talk about what each of them brought to this series before we move on, because Episode 8 is going to be hard, and I think it lands harder when you carry a clear sense of who they saw and what happened when they did. Lori was 18 years old and on her first vacation. She had spent that night and early morning in the Viking Lounge. She saw something. 2 people headed up a glass elevator at dawn that she knew to be Amy Bradley and Alistair Douglass. She reported it to ship security 2 days later when it was known that Amy disappeared. She told the FBI what she saw, and she was told in response that she was nothing more than a drunk, little, rich white girl on vacation. Well, there's a problem. She wasn't drunk. She knew exactly who and what she saw, and she carried the weight of being dismissed by the people whose job it was to listen for 28 years. She came on this podcast anyway. She said it clearly on the record and for the first time in long form. I will go to my grave with 100% certainty. Those were her words. David Carmichael was on a dive trip in Curacao 5 months after Amy disappeared. He had no knowledge of the case. He noticed a woman on an isolated beach, her tattoos, her watch, the way a man stared at him to move her along. He filed it away, flew home, and really didn't think much of it. And then he saw a television program. And after confirming with his dive buddy, he knew. What he didn't know, and what few of us knew until this series, is that the watch he described, a blue-faced watch larger than a wrist catching the sunlight, was a watch Amy's boyfriend Tom gave her before she went on the cruise. That detail was never released publicly prior to his sighting. David Carmichael described it independently from memory and has repeatedly done so over 28 years. He has thought about that beach every single day of his life since. And then there's Judy, a tourist in Barbados in March 2005, 7 years after Amy disappeared from the ship. She walked into a department store restroom and heard men's voices. She heard a phone call, the deal's at 10 o'clock, and tomorrow we make our way back to Curacao. She asked the woman her name. The woman looked away, like she was going back in time, with a sad look on her face, and said softly, Amy. Judy had never heard of Amy Bradley. You have 3 people, 3 separate moments across 7 years. None of them knew each other. None of them had anything to gain by coming forward. Yet each and every one of them did. And all of them, in one way or another, were met by a system that didn't move the way that it should have. And that's what Episode 8 is about. Not a conspiracy, not corruption in a dramatic sense, something more mundane and in some ways more troubling. An investigation that appears to have decided what happened to Amy Bradley before the evidence was fully examined and then processed everything that followed through that lens. The witnesses didn't fit the theory. They were dismissed. The discrepancies that demanded explanation were left unresolved. Lori came forward. David came forward. Judy came forward. The question Episode 8 asks is what the institution that was supposed to find Amy Bradley did with that. That's coming up on Friday. On Wednesday, an all-new Witness Wednesday, you will hear David Carmichael, in his own words, describe that beach encounter in long form for the first time ever. If you have information about Amy Bradley's disappearance, contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. Tips can be submitted anonymously, and the FBI is now offering a $100,000 reward. During the full run of this series, 100% of commissions earned through our Invisaware Personal Safety Partnership go directly to the Bradley family's GoFundMe to continue their investigation. 10% off using the link invisaware.com/MidnightMysteryArchive, which is linked in the show notes. Support the show as well at no extra cost through our Amazon affiliate link. also in the show notes. You can follow the Midnight Mystery Archive on X or join our official Facebook group. Links are in the show notes. Also, make sure to go visit amybradleyismissing.com for updated news and sign the Amy Alerts petition linked here in the show notes. We got a busy week. David Carmichael's Witness Wednesday and episode 8 on Friday. We'll see you next time.